Hey y'all, I'm Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and I want to welcome each of you. You've arrived at day 39 of the 100 Days of Zentangle 2019. Today's tangle is Intwine by Elena Hadzizhaneva. I'm going to explore that tangle with you right now, and it's a cool one. Intwine is rather similar to tangles like chorus in that it has a woven look when you're finished that seems to continue. I think this is one of the first tangles I taught myself because I just loved the way that it looked and I wanted to be able to do it too. It was harder for me than I thought it would be because I didn't get one key fact from the step outs that I was learning from. Oops, that one got a little big. And that key fact was that it's important the order that you do the sides in. And I realized that when I started doing Celtic knots. So the first step is not an order related step. You're basically going to take one side and connect it to the other side, and you'll do it from the tip of one across to the bottom of the other, like this. And you're going to repeat this between each set. And so this one would be like this, yes, and this one like this. Okay, now you're starting to see where we're going, right? Now here's the key. You have to start this. You have to start from the top and work your way down. Sort of got a little excited here. So wherever you decide to stop and whatever your black spot looks like, this is the next step. You're going to want to run a parallel line starting about here, okay? And you're going to run this like this, okay? Then you're going to take the next one, starting around the same place. And now you can see why knowing where to start is so important, because if you start here, yes, you can sort of judge it, but it's much easier if you have a place to start and a place to land. Okay? Now on the other side, it's the same thing, only backwards, if you will. You're going to want to start at the bottom, or you can turn your tile and do it exactly the same way, which is probably the smart way. But I have this turned so nicely, so I'm going to do it this way. And it does not matter as long as you recognize where you need to start. And that is really the key to this whole thing, is knowing where to start. And then at this point you can either, join this together. I've seen it done this way. You could do this. You can just stop. Whatever way you want to envision this, this is basically it. And the key to this is this stroke going from the bottom of one to the top of the other. Yeah. And then starting on the same, at the right place on the sides. And you could do these, you do a couple here. You can do these very small, but hopefully neater. Wow. All right. So again, the first step tip to bottom on the other side. And you can, of course, do it the other way if you're lefty, doesn't matter. And then making these very narrow. You could do, although to me it makes more sense to do that another way. And if you really are going to pay attention, if you really want this to look correct, then, okay, that's the wrong thing to say. I don't mean correct. If you really want it to look like a Celtic knot, let's say it that way, then pay attention to where these end and start right there, so that it looks like this is passing beneath and becoming that. Does that make sense at all? Then I've seen some really cool things as far as adding auras. And one of the reasons you see a lot of this type of aura in Celtic knotwork is because it helps the illusion of continuity of line. See, it helps your eye feel like this is continuing. So that's another thing you can do. You can put little decorations in the middle, you know, whatever you want. But shading on this is really a lot of fun because of the three-dimensional aspect that you get. So I'm going to shade where it looks like it disappears. It's probably not the best choice after I marked this all up, but y'all know what I mean. So, and just like in knotwork, you sort of want to lightly shade one side and a little bit thicker on the other side, and just anywhere where the line seems to, or it seems to go beneath something else, always want to shade that area. And for me, rules about shading are nice because sometimes I think it just causes me to think too much, and when I am drawing, I don't want to be thinking that much. And so, oh my goodness. Guys, I promise, as soon as I'm able to monetize and earn a little bit money, we are getting new light and new tripod. Okay, I'll calm down. Probably won't be making that much. Anyway, here we go. So this is my rough version of shading on this, and then we will get it in the pattern for today. And that will be day 39 in the books. You guys thought that was going to be hard, didn't you? Right? It's not so hard. Let's find a nice long spot for Entwine by Elena Hadzijaneva. Look at me saying that right now. I had to practice that one, guys. That was a toughie. Okay, so we are doing Entwine. I think I'm just going to stick that right here, and we're going to see if I can get it to go around this little curve and still look halfway decent. So let's find out. I'm going to start with my little auras. My little auras. It's almost like My Little Pony. Wow. Okay, this isn't the best. Let's try this. I frequently get distracted by the next square over. Yeah, I like it. Let's start here, and I am going to purposefully do this. Now, the closer together the closer together that you put these, the more intricate the weave will look. The further apart they are, the more relaxed. So these are a little bit closer in to each other than the examples we were doing, but it will just change the look of the pattern. It won't make any difference to how it's drawn. Okay. And again, you know, not like me, attempt to, wow, Cindy, attempt to get your little ovals about the same size, if you care. If you don't, and it's a different wild look. And you know, one of the things I love about Zentangle art is the abstract quality, where anything can happen, which is kind of a cool thing. Then I don't have to, then I don't care if it looks like a flower or not, because it doesn't have to be a flower. So if you come to a corner or a turn, you just sort of go with it. This might work. I think so. Now, let's see if we can connect it up. So again, I'm going to go from bottom on one side to top on the other. Doesn't matter which way, just that I'm changing sides. Okay, and of course doing it the same on each one. So bottom to top, or top to bottom. Just cross the aisle. Okay, so that wasn't so hard, right? Okay. So starting almost at the top, you want to take that top tip around the outside. Okay, and this one, I'm going to let that come in right here. And when you turn, you'll get some wonky looking lines, but it's okay. They're still going to look right once you're finished and have them shaded. It was a little wiggly. So see, those edges really aren't that hard. So now to preserve continuity here, for me, I'm going to turn this upside down. Ooh, I love the way that looks. And I'm going to do this pulling down again from this side. So right up here to the top, and then follow that down. And please forgive my shaking today. I'm a wild woman today. Okay, and this one doesn't show, but we'll put that in. All right, it's not a bad Entwine. I think I'm going to shade this before I add any auras, because I'm not sure if I want to add one. I really love the way this looks shaded. And I might add some tipple around the, whoops, I forgot one, didn't I? You guys are supposed to remind me when I forget stuff. Kid, you're supposed to remind me when I forget stuff.
What?
So it's not my job to watch you today.
It's not my job to babysit.
Ha! Good one. So it's not my job to babysit. All right, then I'm going to,
Did you just pee your pants?
dude, hush. You think you're cute, but you're really not. Not really that cute, no.
Meanie
I am a meanie.
Your meanie beanie.
That too.
Meanie beanie beanie.
I know. I don't know why you put up with me, kiddo. 'Cause you gotta, that's why. Notice how those lines that I've got, pencil lines through each square, and notice how those just have gone away? And I didn't even erase them. Usually I am not so shy about the erasing, but I'm trying to set a good example. And you know, from learning from Annie Oken, she she leaves it. And if it shows later, she doesn't care. And the thing is, her art is amazing. You know, I don't have that whole amazing thing, but, you know, I have my moments. But if I can learn from that example, then I can teach that example. I think Mr. Mono Zero and I are going to be getting together on this here in a minute. I'm referring to my Tombow Mono Zero eraser, which is a teeny tiny eraser. And it is just perfect for going in and lifting extra graphite. Graphite is the stuff that the pencils lay down. It used to be lead or something mixed with graphite, but I don't think they do that anymore. Yep, my age is showing again. All right. And this, guys, this situation here, this is why those separation auras are so important, because when I don't get them in on one side, the only thing we have indicating here that this square is going in underneath this is the shading. And so I may use a thick pen to go over my dividing lines before I'm finished. I don't know, but that's one reason why that's a good idea. All right, look at that Entwine. I really like it. I may still again play with the edges and add an aura here, but I'm sort of leaving finishing touches for later and just focusing on the pattern steps right now. Guys, we're coming up to our next weekend where I get to pick the patterns. Hopefully I will pick ones that you like too. I am trying to mix it up, trying to choose both grid and curvy organic stuff. And I'm trying to challenge us, but also choose some of our favorites. So if you guys would like to suggest a pattern for weekends when I get to choose the prompts, I would love to hear about it in comments. Just shoot me a pattern name and I will know that you mean for it to happen on the weekends, and I can't wait to get started. All right, guys, keep coming back. You guys are awesome. See you tomorrow.